It's a 2-acre golf green. It's sand-based field, so there's 10 inches of sand on top of 4 inches of rock with perforated pipe in it that's the drainage that the water gets to eventually and shoots on out of here so that it stays a firm surface, good footing for the athletes when they're playing the game. I mean, it's at a 1% grade.
Okay,
So
it's
if
not
we
too
do
much of a crown.
right, yeah, and we've taken some of that crown off over the years.
What are the biggest challenges that you face over the course of a season when it comes to maintaining the turf here at Kenan Stadium?
Well, it's, football is a very intense game, and we have big, strong kids that are out here playing on it and chewing it up, and that's what it's here for. But from my end, the turf grass manager, they chew it up pretty good. So we do what we can and try to get it back going.
Now, one of the things that we're seeing quite a bit in operations in general is the idea that sustainability is becoming increasingly important. And I would suspect that that's an issue that you have to worry about as well. So what are some of the things that you do from a turf management perspective that impact the sustainability practices?
It's been a huge issue for us, and especially the university itself. With the couple of droughts that we've had in the last 10 years, we've had situations where we weren't allowed to water, or we were really restricted on when we can water, how much we could water, which is a huge issue for us as an athletic department, just for safety of our athletes. We can't have a surface that is not a good surface because we didn't do something to it.
And so this water is all reclaimed water?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely reclaimed water. The university has paid to have it piped throughout the campus. It's just a very good thing to do. It takes pressure off of the community's drinking water supply so that we're able to water, we're able to accomplish our goals, but yet we're not affecting the community in any sort of way where we're using all the drinking water up in a drought situation. The big guns are putting out so much water that if you are trying to irrigate, like if you just resided the end zone, if you're just trying to irrigate that, if you got to run these cannons all the time, you're going to be wasting a lot of water.
Right.
So, it's just that way we can be more effective, even with reclaimed water. I mean, just because it's reclaimed water, you don't want to be wasteful with it.
Of the water that you use here at Kenan Stadium, what percentage of it comes from reclaimed water?
We are very close to being 100% reclaimed water on all our athletic fields.
In addition to water, what are some of the other things that you have to think about placing onto the field to keep it in its current state?
Well, there's fertilizer, obviously, and we try to use as many organic fertilizers as we can. The organic fertilizers are not as heavy in the nitrogen. They're more balanced fertilizers that have microbial activity in them so that we're not putting just a large amount of nitrogen out, watering it in, it's shooting through the soil profile, especially with a sand-based field that doesn't hold the nutrients. So if you put a large amount of nitrogen out, it shoots right through and goes into the creek. So we really try to avoid using those synthetic fertilizers as much as we can. We use organics at lower rates and what we call spoon feed the field. So we'll put out, just a little bit at a time, water it in, and we do it more often, but we do less, and then the grass uses up what we have in the soil profile, and there's less waste and less runoff.
Do you find there to be a cost difference between organic fertilizer versus synthetic fertilizer?
It's a little cheaper, but we end up using a little more of it at times, so I think it's kind of a wash there.
So in some ways, the organic fertilizer is both better for the environment as well as better for the grass itself?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, that's terrific when you have that kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
What sort of reporting are you asked to do in terms of reporting on water usage or reporting on fertilizer usage?
We do have to keep a log of our reclaimed water usage. We do not have to record the fertilizer. We try to not over fertilize. We definitely try to not over water. The plant, it doesn't want to be watered all the time. We try to use deep and frequent watering, which involves a half an inch of rain or a half an inch of irrigation water soaking through the soil profile, and what happens there is the roots chase the water, trying to get the water. So then we establish a better rooting system so that it will hold up to play a lot better throughout the games.
As you think moving forward 5 years or 10 years into the future, what do you think will be the additional sustainability issues that you'll have to confront?
I see more systems being put in like the one we have at Boschhammer, where we are recapturing the same water that we've been using. And then also there are a number of infiltration beds around campus that they put in where the water goes into a system and then is allowed to sit there, seep back into the ground and increase the groundwater supply that is throughout the community.
Yeah, has there ever been any thought or any discussions about moving to artificial turf and the thought that it might be easier to sustain and require less water, less nutrients, less fertilizer, other issues like that?
There's a lot of issues with the artificial turf as far as safety for the student athletes. And then, a grass field it's a living, breathing thing. It's doing a lot of positive things for the environment. Artificial fields aren't, I'm a little biased, I'm a sports turf manager, so, but they're not all they're cracked up to be as far as safety for the athletes and also sustainability as well.
In terms of the beauty of Kenan Stadium, I hope that never happens as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Me too.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right.
It's been
Thank
great
you.
getting a chance to learn more about turf management here at Kenan Stadium.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.